a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, often imitated, never duplicated superstar, as well as the coveted Lake Erie WWE Champion, Tim Vicious. And folks, you are in for a treat because not only does this episode talk about SummerSlam, we're going to mention a few other important info that has occurred since last week's episode. But first, breaking huge announcement, I shall be defending my coveted Lake Erie WWE Championship in the pre-show. That's right, the pre-show, which means no one will be in attendance. Which, okay, you know what? God damn it, Wade, you said that joke would work. It sounded good in pre-production. I'm sorry, folks. We tried. Anyways, talk about SummerSlam, Brooklyn, New York. Now, obviously, aside from SummerSlam, you know, the Takeover, it was good. It was really good. You know, as far as takeovers go, this wasn't like mind fucking blown good, you know. On a 1 to 10, I'd say that one was like a 7.5. Not to say that that's bad, but, you know, was what it was. Now, other than that, other things that have occurred since last week's episode, matters that do need to be addressed. One, news has been going around about, apparently somebody was saying Randy Orton would do this thing to rib new writers where he'd go and rub his dick and then go and make them shake his hand, and if they didn't, you know, he'd go and say that he's going to report them for not being friendly with some of the boys and all that shit. And honestly, I don't know if that's true or not, but if you think about it though, at some point in everyone's life, at some point in every single person's life, no matter what, pretty much every person has held a dick in their hand at one point or another, whether it was theirs or someone else's. Okay, now I feel really awkward. Other than that, though, other news, you know, and I hate bringing up his name because I fucking can't stand this fuckknuckle Meltzer, but, you know, it always winds up saying something that just hits the nutty button on me, but this one really flipped me overboard on this one with saying, you know, he was doing his recordings for his show, and it was talking about it, you know, Peyton Royce saying on how, you know, oh, she looked so much more attractive in NXT when she was thinner. Dude, seriously? So, the fuck is with this guy? Seriously. He apparently has a thing about attractive women who work in WWE because, you know, he constantly will shit on any of them. Let me clarify. He shits on the ones that, he shits on the attractive large-breasted ones, even if they are from implants, but he still shits on them. So apparently Dave Meltzer has a thing against attractive large-breasted women at Wrestle. You know, but point being, saying shit like that will fuck with a person's head, you know. That is straight up open body shaming right there. And, you know, growing up, I was built like a you know, Spike Dudley had more muscle mass than I did when I was a kid. You know, I got all kinds of shit thrown at me like that. You know, I don't tolerate that kind of shit. Especially from that fuckknuckle. Ugh. Anyways, now that I'm done, that's it for the news that has gone on since last week's episode. On with the show. SummerSlam, Brooklyn. Honest to God, on paper, the card didn't look that impressive, but wow, this was a decent show. I fucking liked it. It was good. Yep. First pre-show match, mixed tag match, Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Zelina Vega going against Rusev and Lana. And before the match starts, they show Rusev and Lana getting ready, you know, hyping themselves up. English comes over, gets ready to go and try and say, I have the perfect song for you guys. It's, hey then no. No, just hear it. It's, hey then no. This is something that we need to do. So it's kind of safe to say they're going to start scooting Aiden away and more than likely insert a storyline with Aiden being pissed off at Rusev. Now, as far as the match goes, Rusev and Almas, they started off. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Liked it. Lana, though, she hands down got the loudest pop out of everyone when she got the hot tag in. Really worked nice and good. You know, match came to an end. Zelina Vega, she did a roll-up on Lana. She had her foot up on the ropes like that, but you could see at first she was struggling trying to reach her feet out for it. So, sloppy finish aside, it was decent. It told a pretty okay story, and it's going to lead to a match with them again down the road. So, can't argue. Next up, Cruiserweight match, Drew Gulak going against Cedric Alexander for Cedric's coveted Cruiserweight Championship. And on this one, I was actually really torn because really like Drew Gulak, you know, he's a Philly boy, much like yours truly, you know, does the city of brotherly love proud. Really want him to win, but at the same time, I'm also a big fan of Cedric Alexander. I've liked his stuff since I saw him in Ring of Honor. And, you know, just, you know. But, now, had a nice start. Liked on how Gulak was leading the pace and was leading it. Now, the pace started to pick up more so right after, like, the little 15-second ad spot that aired. But, you know, it was good. Good to see it that it was like, you know, shot in the veins and next, you know, whoa! Everyone woke up. And match came to an end. Alexander, he got a quick roll-up in on Gulak. So, not liking the fact that, you know, I'm going to just say this now. All three matches on the pre-show ended with roll-ups. So, but yeah, just not a fan of having the same finish over and over and over. From a fan standpoint, you know. And that's the whole thing on this show. Speaking as a fan, to fan, breaking down what could see, you know, plus what little experience I have from when I was doing my stuff at the ring. Now that said, match came to an end. Like I said, Cedric Alexander did a roll-up. It was kind of a sloppy one as well, you know. It just seemed like, I don't know, like nobody could get in the right gear for it, but he got the win. Next matchup, we got the Revival going against the B team. Right off bat, boom, Revival on point, just straight up clobbering on Dallas and Axel, and right out of nowhere, boom, they hit Shatter Machine right on Curtis Axel, even though he wasn't the legal man. And a lot of people were buzzing on that, like, oh, Axel wasn't the legal man, why'd they do their move to him? Fucking tag team psychology. You take out that man, that way, then focus on the other, so that way he can't go and tag someone. Duh! Simple. Anyways, after they hit the Shatter Machine on Dallas, they wound up, or not Dallas, on Axel, they started going to town on Bo. And they were ripping into him like a new prisoner on Cell Block D. Don't ask how I would know that. Anyways, you know, pretty decent. It was good. You know, pretty decent, good match. You know, liked on how they were doing a lot of focusing on working on Bo's one leg to try and keep him down. Now, at one point, Axel does eventually get tagged in, and, you know, Match comes to an end with Scott Dawson doing a roll-up on Axel. Bo winds up going and smashing Wilder, but as he does, Wilder decks him too, and then Bo falls back and counters the reversal to instead make it that Axel is then pinning him. So it's 1, 2, 3, they win. B team's pretty much just winning based off of pure dumb luck at this point. So, yeah. So now on to the main show. Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, hell of a start. First thing we need to address more right off bat was Seth's fucking ring gear, because he came out dressed up like Thanos with his one boot being the Infinity Gauntlet, and all I could think is, if he knows on how to like crack his toe knuckles, he could wind up just saying with a snap of his fingers half the WWE universe could go. Anyways, Rollins is out with Ambrose, Ziggler's out with McIntyre. So the show. Fuck. Nice, good start. Liked on how Dolph was leading. Good back and forth with these guys. Really liked that. Also was liking the continuous stare downs between Drew and Ambrose. Like that. You gonna do something? What? You want to do something? Then make a move. Like that kind of shit. And now, not gonna lie, the pace did get a little slower than expected, and not taking away from these guys at all, but out of the series of matches that these had, this had to be the slowest one. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing, I'm just saying from a from just a perspective. Anyways, match came to an end when McIntyre was up on the apron trying to get the ref's attention. Ambrose pulled him down, hit him with the dirty deeds. Seth came out to look, make sure everything is okay, turned around. Ziggler went to go for a super kick, countered it, hit a curb stomp, 1, 2, 3. And then Seth is now your new Intercontinental Champion once again. So next up we got a tag team match. New Day, Bludgeon Brothers. And this one was actually, instead of Big E and Kofi, it was Big E and Woods. And I'm okay with that, Switch it up like that all the time, man. Woods was pretty much being slaughtered right out the gate, But there was really good back and forth going on all around. I really liked it. They didn't have Kofi jump into the match, though, which, I'm all for. I'm okay with that because, just have him out there being the cheerleader, basically. There's no sense in including him in the match if he's not actually part of it, so to say. Not having, so to say, if you will, Now, like I said, really good back and forth. I like the storytelling with these guys. Now, match came to an end. It was via disqualification when Rowan just right out of nowhere just grabs the mallet and boom! Slams it into Big E. And then they just go to town beating up the New Day and with the hammers. And it was just hold still. Their vision is based on movement. And pray they don't see him. So next up we get Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman with Braun's Money in the Bank contract on the line. And this was just a straight up fucking squash match. Straight point blank. Braun, the second the bell rang, Braun just decimated him. Decimated Owens. He slammed him. Owens rolled out the ring. Braun ran around the ring, steamrolled him twice. And then, as Owens is walking up the ramp, Braun grabs him, choke slams him on not the apron, but on the ramp, and just, that thud that happened, that can make any back lock up in phantom pain, just thinking, Shit! That had to fucking hurt. After that, he got him inside. And then he hit him with a power slam, 1, 2, 3. Now, normally I'm not a fan of squash matches, but it's, again, all in a matter of what stories it's telling. Now, past couple weeks, Kevin has been fucking with Strowman's head, highlighting on how he could, if he loses in any type of way, he loses his contract. And so Braun fucking wipes him out quick, and then that's it. So we'll see Owens coming back for him soon enough. Just wait. Now, next matchup, we get women's triple threat action. Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Carmella, all coming out. Now, really liked on how they were building with the animosity between Charlotte and Becky for this match. It was, I was going for the pin. Oh, well, all right, come on. All right, let's see what you got. And then they were going at it. The thing about triple threats that kind of annoy me, a lot of times, you know, you'll see like somebody being the third wheel, and you'll get this person plus this person for a little bit, and then this person plus this person. And that's what we were getting in this match. Not taken away from the match, just those were the very obvious dislikes, but not focusing on the dislikes. Want to focus on what was good on it. It was a good, solid match. I liked it. Match came to an end when Charlotte hit the natural selection on Becky Lynch, just as Becky had the disarmer in on Carmella and got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. And as Charlotte's in the ring celebrating, Becky comes over, raises her hand, gives her a hug, and then boom! Just goes straight up dark side and beats the shit out of her, and then walks away pissed off. And yes, this is great, because now you got an angry Irish woman going, saying, pissed off because her friend took her spot. And took her shot at the title. So now you're going to have her chasing after it. That's all it is. And we're going to wind up getting Charlotte versus Becky coming up at the next pay-per-view, I guarantee that. If not there, then at the Women's One Evolution in October. Next up, we got Samoa Joe going against AJ Styles. And this, real nice start, you know. Really nice start to it. You know, liked on how Joe was healing it up, so to say, with the fact that Styles' wife and his daughter was at ringside watching. And just, man, these guys were putting on good shows back in TNA when TNA was giving us shit, you know. And if you don't believe me about TNA giving shit, just talk to my boy, Ali Ben, and ask him about TNA Turnaround, you know? Because I guarantee he'll be able to school you on the shitty stuff that TNA was doing way better than I could, you know? Now, like I said, just really good storytelling, you know? Loved the amount of physicality that was going on with it. Match wound up coming to an end when Joe and Styles, they were both outside. Excuse me. Joe and Styles were both outside. Joe threw AJ into a thing of stairs, got on the mic, and said, called out Styles' wife saying, hey, don't worry, after I'm done with him, I'll make sure your little girl has a brand new daddy. And I'm not that comfortable in that kind of a sense because, you know, I don't like making this show a lot about me, but I'm a sidebar and I'm going to explain a story on why something like that's not comfortable with me. Right before my son was born, did just like any other first-time parent, was was waving around ultrasound pictures showing chest puffed out with pride. That's my son. He's going to be here soon. You know, I'm as happy as can be. He's going to be a chip off the old block, just like his old man. One coworker decided to be a fucking dick to me and say, "Oh yeah, well, you know that kid's yours?" Ooh, you could see the fire coming off my eyes. Later on that night, found out that coworker was petrified of bugs, and well, long story short, she had to walk out of work the next day, or not walk out, but had to get carried out in a stretcher because she had a panic attack from falling over because her desk was covered with rubber cockroaches, and I was suspended for 2 weeks. Fully justified. I fully accepted the suspension, but point being, she never said that kind of shit to me again. Now, that being said, I'm not a fan of things like that in wrestling, more so because of events like that, you know, just I don't like the idea of the accusations of, "Oh well, you know, if that kid's yours," or "Hey, I'll take care of your kid for you." You know, I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of it whatsoever. I wasn't a fan of it when they were doing that with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Just, nah. You know, but yeah, after Joe said that, Styles, he got up. He was obviously busted open from the stair fall, from getting slammed into the stairs. Just went ballistic on Joe, grabbed the chair, slammed it on him like crazy, and then beat the shit out of him. After that, he went over to his wife and his daughter, and this was purely unscripted, but my God, it was such pure gold. Styles, he went over to his wife saying he was sorry about doing that, and then he apologized to his little girl, and his little girl just looked at him and said, "Daddy, you're bleeding." He was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry." Just, oh my God, the emotion right there. That was perfect for it. So we're obviously going to get a rematch again with these two, more than likely at Hell in a Cell in September. So I'm all for it. Next match we got is the one match I've been waiting all for at SummerSlam. Miz, Daniel Bryan. Really love this. They have Marie sitting ringside with the stroller with little Monroe sitting in the carriage. You know, Miz came out. Bryan, he came out wearing Seahawks colors. Now, this is a nice, really good heel start by the Miz, because every time Bryan would start to get near him, he'd go and do, "Whoa, oh, hey, I'm in the ropes. He can't get him up, make him back up," and he would. Ref kept doing that, and then eventually Miz just boom, popped Bryan in the face, and then the match went, and then this match carried on. Now, really good, talking faster than I'm thinking again. Really need to start getting one of those clicker things like bouncers have to mark every time I do that on here. Anyways, really good back and forth. Possibly the best thing that I could take from the takeaway from this match was, since Daniel Bryan's return, yes, Bryan is a great wrestler. Will not take that away from him whatsoever. However, since he's come back, he didn't have that aggression, that like snarling arg kind of feel to him since he came back. It's been that, well, yay, I'm back kind of thing, and just, This just showed straight up aggression for him, which was great to see. Need to see that more in him, you know? Especially if, you know, you want to go and start saying out there, "Oh, well, give him the title again. Give him a title shot. Give him a championship." No, why are you going to give him a championship if, one, he's not going to renew his contract, and two, he's not going to have like that come off giving that fire like that. You know what? I'm going to fight for this shit. Instead of, well, I had a dream to come back, and now that I'm back, I want that. Ugh. Yeah. Anyways, match came to an end as the guys kept going back and forth with each other. It obviously got outside at one point. Excuse me. Miz went over to the ring, went over to the apron where Maurice was. Maurice handed him something, and Brian wound up kicking the Miz right after that, then got in the ring just as he was pulling Miz in. Miz, boom, caught him in the face. Now, as Bobby Heenan would break that down, oh, well, Miz went over, Miz fell over into the corner right there, and Maurice was just comforting him to make sure he was okay. After that victory shot on Brian, he went back over to assure his wife that he was perfectly fine, and then went in for the pin. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So these guys are going to go again. Now, far-fetched idea for fantasy booking. What if have Miz win the WWE Championship? Hear me out before you start going into an all-caps rage down below. Miz wins the championship. Then, Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble. Thus, having them two main event WrestleMania. Food for thought, folks. So yeah, next up we get Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. And this again, squash match, but my God, this was a good squash match because Balor, he came out pulling out the demon gimmick, and the whole time Corbin's like, I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up to face this. You know, trying to play the chicken shit heel, like, you know. And some people were out there blasting on their Twitter, you know, oh, well, he's saying that. What's the difference? Dude, have you followed the storyline about what Finn doing the demon bit? It's supposed to be, it's his dark side, you know? Kind of like with the whole, in comics with Batman. In the Batman R.I.P. series, he had the Batman of Zahura protocol set up to where basically the Batman of Zahura was Batman when you take Bruce Wayne out of the equation. The Demon Balor is Balor when you take Finn out of the equation. That's all it is, plain and simple. Anyways, he came in, creeped out, intimidated. Finn just, boom, exploded on him. Hit the coup de grace eventually, 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, next match we get now Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke Nakamura. And like the mind games that they were doing with each other to start, you know, Shin taunting Jeff with the Jeff thing, with the Hardy thing, and then Jeff taunting Nakamura, and then Nakamura just like, he's copying me? He has the temerity and the audacity to copy me? You know, it was cool to see that. You know, Nakamura, he was pretty much leading the match, and quite possibly the highlight of the match, if you will, and extremely unnecessary. Out of nowhere, Jeff Hardy, somewhere in his infinite sense of wisdom, thought it would be a good idea to do a swanton on the Nakamura while he was laying on the apron. And just as Jeff's coming down, Nakamura moves out the way, and his back, boom, hits the apron. Again, just one of those shots where you're watching and your back just locks up and cringes in pain in phantom pain. Like, oh, God, that had to hurt. Just, okay, Jeff, listen. That was seriously unnecessary, man. Just, ugh. No. But yeah, either way, after that, Cien wound up getting the advantage, hit the Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3, that was it. So now we come up to the women's match, Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey. Now, before the match even begins, first thing we need to address is Ronda's makeup, because, okay, the WWE makeup crew, they fucking failed on that, because she looked like you see her, your first thing to think of was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Ronda, Yeah, just, God, what the fuck? Seriously. So yeah. Now, before the match even starts, Natalya comes out as she's wearing her dad Jim Neidhart's jacket when him and Brett won the tag titles at SummerSlam. And I don't know, this just it felt completely unnecessary to me to have Natty out there. It did. You know, granted, yeah, sad to hear that her dad went, but there was no reason for her to be out there storyline-wise. And also, what's the point in having her come out and then have the chicken shit heel champion Alexa Bliss come out right after her? There's no sense and nothing needed for that. Now, if Natty would have came out with Ronda, that'd have been perfect. But it wasn't. That was not the case. Now, match started out, Bliss, like I said, chicken shit heel, worked really good, you know, but once Ronda got her hands on her, boom, she just manhandled her and then got the armbar in, tapped out, and then, yeah, that was it. Following night on Raw, Ronda came out for her championship celebration. Stephanie was healing it up. And Ronda knocked her down and then put her in an armbar, which, I'm sorry, but if you're going to have your babyface champion attack the heel authority figure just because they're trying to steal someone's spotlight, that just comes off more heelish than... That comes off more so like being a villain and a dick than, you know, being somebody that's saying, I'm not going to stand for unfair authority like that. You know? So, yeah. Now it's time for main event of the night. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Universal title. And before the match even begins, Braun comes out. The roof exploded in Brooklyn. Braun said point blank, I know the history behind this contract, and I'm not going to cash in when someone's got their back turned. So whoever wins, you better be ready because I'm cashing it in right in front of you. And then that's it. So he's standing there ringside the whole time, looking as badass as Big John Studd, you know, and literally, Brock's watching him. He turns around, literally, Roman, boom, right off bat, onslaught. Like 3 or 4 Superman punches, just straight up tore into him. And then, right when he went for a spear, Brock, boom, got him in a guillotine choke, had him locked in. Roman powered out of it, but Brock, he started to capitalize, started getting his momentum. Roman kept fighting back, though. And then, just as Roman was going for a spear, Brock sidestepped him, and Roman went through the ropes, boom, hit Strowman, and then Brock went outside, and then started handling Strowman. Hit him with an F5, smashed his briefcase over him, threw it all the way up to the entryway, broke some of the LED panels up there. And then when he got back in, Roman, boom, spear, 1, 2, 3, that was it. Roman's the new champion. Hallelujah, the title is now back on TV regularly, and I, for one, am fully happy on this. And I've said a long time ago, Roman earned his main spot at that 6-man Extreme Rules match with Shield versus, Tripp, Randy, and Batista when his back was all marked and welted up like he got hit like he was just punished with that Singapore cane, you know, and I give him mad respect for that. He won, and it was a beautiful way to take Braun out of the ending in that storyline wise. Now the next night on Raw, Roman came out, said he was a man of his word. He's going to defend the title, so he's going to give a title shot to the one man who was the first champion and has yet to get his one-on-one title rematch, Finn Balor. And those two put on a hell of a show. And again, Braun Strowman, he did the same thing. He came out, watched, looked big and badass, and just next thing you know, but Roman eventually won that match between him and Balor. And then just as Braun was about to cash in, next thing you know, Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta Shield. Seth and Dean come out in full Shield gear. And mind you, before that on Raw, they had matches and they were in their other gear. So they changed into their Shield gear to show it was real. They came out, cornered him, and then just Braun was like, all right, boom, tried to take him on, wound up getting taken down, triple powerbomb through the table. Raw ended with them all doing the thing. So, I can't complain on that. You know, they're building good stories, you know. So, yeah, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, like all normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. Make sure y'all also look for my other account, Tim_Vicious. I go on there when I'm ghosted or if I get put in Twitter jail. Also, make sure y'all look for me on my Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you do, make sure y'all let me know you found me from here or my Twitter at Tim Vicious, so I don't think you got your creep John going. Also, folks, don't forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, my two good brothers. I am Danny Sunday and Oliver Ben, who Ollie is one of the executive producers for this show. Make sure y'all hit him up. He also provided the music for this week's show. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. Also, don't forget to hit Ollie up for one of these Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support, as well as a few dollars to get one of these nice ass shirts. Cranky Grandpa and Aaron, I keep apologizing. I'm sorry. This is almost becoming like a recurring bit. I'm sorry. That, as well as Dazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell you, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.